Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back to the show. So excited to have our guests here today. We have Terry Scrivner as well as Michelle Snider, and they're both clinical hypnotherapists and owners and operators of their own company. It's called Hypnosis and You. By the way, that's their website too, hypnosisandyou.com. Welcome to the show today. How is everyone doing?
Woo, thank you.
Yeah, pumped.
Pumped, good. Excited to have you both here. And first and foremost, let's introduce, if you don't mind, introducing yourselves to our listeners, and then we're going to get started. Obviously, I know we have a great show planned for us and want to know how you got to hypnotherapy and all that as well. So begin wherever you'd like.
Okay.
Right.
My name is Terry Scrivner, and I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist and also a certified professional life coach.
Wonderful. And Michelle?
Well, I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist too, and also certified as a Reiki practitioner.
Fantastic. Well, pleasure to have you both here. And you're based out of where specifically?
Kentucky.
But you're working with people all over the world with what you do, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Well, let's start off then first. Terry, tell me a little about your journey. Unfortunately, I know you became sick about 3 years ago. Would you mind getting into that for us to start?
Sure. About 3 years ago, right at the beginning of COVID, I became really, really sick. And the doctors had done everything they could. They pretty much said, we're done and we can't go any farther. So I thought, well, you know what? I've always wanted to get into hypnotherapy. I'm going to see if that will work. So I searched for a hypnotherapist and found one. And in doing that, I was able to go from being super sick.
And I'm sorry, I think I hear some paper shuffling. I'm not sure if that's Michelle or Terry. There's something. I just want to make sure I hear you clearer.
Microphone. Hold your microphone, Terry. Hold that. Yeah.
I got it. Okay.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to have a perfect. Go ahead, sweetheart. Thank you.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm sorry for the interruption. So I did become very sick, couldn't get any help, did find a hypnotherapist, and within just a month or two, I was already seeing results. And in doing that, I also found the college that we actually eventually graduated from for hypnotherapy.
Wow. What a story. My goodness. And by the way, it's hypnosisandyou.com. Thank you for sharing that. Anything else you want to share about that journey? And then we'll also go to Michelle, of course, to find out how she got into this as well.
Well, in the journey, there was a lot of pain involved. What I had was complex regional pain syndrome, which has a nickname of the suicide disease or illness because the pain's so severe. And so I chose the certification for pain and trauma as one of my specialties because I was able to move out of that into being fully functional again.
Wow. And Michelle, do you want to piggyback on that? Tell me a little about how you got into this as well.
Sure. She made me. No. No. As a child, I was raised that hypnosis was kind of a woo-woo. But in reality, I found it to be safe, natural, and we experience it every day. And after seeing the changes that were in Terry and watching that firsthand, was amazing. And we both quit smoking. And we even tried it with other areas of self-improvement and was amazed at them positive changes. So thinking if this can work for us, then definitely it can work for others. And so that's kind of how we started that, mind frame of journey.
Great. And if you don't mind just sharing with your audience today a little bit about your background and credentials.
Okay. Let's see. We have quite a few credentials, but a lot of it was like with the anxiety because well, I'll let Terry tell that part about the anxiety because it really hers is she speaks to that.
So I had a lot of social anxiety from super young that I had to overcome. because I knew my passion was people, and what I had hoped to do someday was to be able to give back. And I knew that anxiety was an issue, but with the hypnosis, I was able to get past that anxiety and be able to work with people one-on-one, helping them heal in areas that they need to heal from, and just to move forward with positiveness.
Yeah, and also mine was a lot of the IBS, never realizing that where a lot of that stems from, and how that really is part of a lot of our minds, and being able to control a lot of those things by different techniques like breathing, and really learning self-hypnosis to be able to help me go through that with my different, before I could learn that with my clients. It was quite something.
So do you want to share a little about hypnosis and what it can help and some of the benefits of the things we can do? I've heard about weight loss, I've heard about smoking,
Oh
but
yeah,
I'm learning it's more than
yeah.
that.
It is. It is. Stop smoking is probably one of our top ones, and weight loss,
Mm-hmm.
and then anxiety. And usually they all, the anxiety is somewhere in there. It's one of them little things that, and the thing about anxiety, Jill, is that it stacks. So if you start with one major anxiety you're not dealing with, then chances are you're going to go from that to, it could go to fear of flying, fear of driving, fear of even just agoraphobia,
Yeah.
and so we can take and help with that, as far as to improve almost every aspect of your life. And we work with transgender. That was one of the trainings we took, and that is really amazing. Confidence, even past life regression, which is really fun. But
oh, wow. And also, you're a ventriloquist. You
oh
have 4 to
yeah,
5 years. Can you tell me a little bit about that? And then let's talk about how you use that
Okay.
along with hypnosis. That really is unique.
Absolutely. I've been doing that for like 45 years, and I found that, people they'll say more things, they'll talk, and it takes down that wall, and they'll say anything to a dummy, and a dummy usually can say anything back to them. And in doing so, it kind of takes the pressure off. And with kids love it, because they'll sit there and they'll open right up and they're just talking, and and that helps me. And I kind of put him in that empty chair technique where kind of discuss the things that are going on to somebody over to the side. But really with him, he makes you interact, and you forget that I'm the one talking. And it also works with adults too. I've had that happen. It's just amazing that they let loose, and I get to their subconscious part of the mind, the little child part, and it's just beautiful to watch them unfold. And I pick out the things that I need to do, and whether it's the anger that pops up, or other things that normally somebody wouldn't even catch, and then I know what direction to go from there. So.
Wow. And also, I want to ask you about maybe some of the top things that people come in for. I know we touched upon some of them, but is it really this anxiety? I mean, especially since the pandemic, I mean, can you agree that the rise in anxiety in so many individuals and even children has been on the rise?
Yes, absolutely. That is one of our main issues that the clients come in with, is anxiety, because as you said, for some of us, it's hard to even get out of the house again to socialize and get into groups. It's gotten into not just our life at home, but at work as well. So there's many things, anxiety and driving anxiety, just those types of things.
Yeah.
We also, well, it's like the people that were more sociable, when COVID started, they didn't, it's like we didn't know what to do because I'm that way. Terry's not and I am, and so it kind of works good. I'm the city girl and she's the country girl, and so what'll happen is I'll get out there and I'm ready to say whatever, and then I get myself in trouble, and then Terry has to come and back me out sometimes, and not in the session, but I mean like when we do for a group, when we do that together, for either stop smoking or the weight loss, and teaching them self-hypnosis in the group and release of stress are some of the things. But we have fun with what we do in because I know that laughter for, some people really is, it's very healing. So.
Oh, wow. And by the way, I also want to ask, how can you be hypnotized through Zoom? Can you explain that? Because still, some people may have that old school thought of hypnotism. Oh, I've seen like stage hypnotism and people acting and barking like a dog and flapping like a bird, which can you explain that a little?
Yeah. Well, let's see. Terry, you want to jump in on anything here before I do this?
Go ahead, and if I will, or if I need to, I will. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. You're in hypnosis every day. But the thing about the Zoom thing is, like, when I first heard about it and I said, nah, there's no way you can do hypnosis through Zoom. You have to be right there so you can like wave that watch in front of them or do that little hypno wheel or what. It's not nothing like that. You close your eyes anyways when you go into hypnosis. Or you could be watching a movie and you're in hypnosis. So you laugh at that movie or you cry and you're so caught up. What it is instead of being that trance of that woo thing, it's so hyper focused that nothing else matters around except for what your mind is on. So, and that's what we do.
How long does it take to get hypnotized? Or what do you say to people out there who says, I can never be hypnotized?
Yeah. I would say, let's say that have you ever been driving and missed your exit?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah. All the
hypnosis.
time.
or
Like, you get there and you're like, how the heck did I end up there? Don't even remember.
Exactly.
That happens a lot. Yes.
Yeah. You don't feel any different, do you? That you got home and you think, other than maybe, how did that happen? And it's being so hyper focused on something that your auto response automatically kicks in, and that's but you don't feel any. Some people feel light and floaty. Some people feel like they got a little heavy feeling, and some people, Jill, don't even feel anything at all.
Yeah. Wow.
Pretty
Pretty
cool.
amazing. Pretty amazing. And I was actually going to also ask about to give me some examples, more so the other people you worked with. So I was reading more notes about even like divorce, right? Low self-esteem or having identity crisis, guilt, all self-improvements, all this can really be helped through what you do today, correct?
Absolutely.
Would you mind sharing a story or two specifically without using a client's name, but something that was bothering them, struggling with, and then how they overcame it after they worked with you? And it was like, phew, the light bulb went off.
Do the MRI, lady. Terry.
Okay. All right. I did have a client that had to have an MRI, and she'd had one before, and she'd had a panic attack before she got into it. And so she wasn't able to do it. And so she had contacted me. And then with hypnosis, we worked on the fact of, what she felt leading up to that and the difference in what that would feel like if she didn't have that panic attack, and talk to her about essentially the first part of our hypnosis is talking to them about what they want to change and how they would rather feel or what they would like to see happen from that. And so that's what we did. And about a week and a half later, she sent me a message, said she'd had her MRI, that it went wonderful. She didn't have a panic attack. And then another week later, she actually used the technique that I'd given her in another situation. She'd had a mouse
Wow.
that was in her car and she's scared to death of mice, but she was able to use that same technique just for that as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is pretty impressive. My goodness. Another story you want to share, Michelle or Terry?
I think that I had this, we also work with like different things of law of attraction and helping you putting it out that in the universe. And we had this one lady that had lost a ring that was pretty expensive. And she knew that she knew that it was probably still in the house because nothing really was moved. And because of COVID, nobody was in. And it went a couple months. And she said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, well, we're going to put that out in the law of attraction. We're going to do that. And sure enough, it took and it bounced down and ended up in a pocket of something. And after putting that out there, every day, or every night actually, because we work with the people and our clients, and what you want, to have happen, you can have that actually happen. You just got to see it. And it's like if you go in the room, Jill, and you're expecting it's a new place, or maybe it's an old place and it's the same old, same old. Okay, you go in there with that. I tell you what, so and so is going to do this, and if you go there, you're going to see that. But if you go in and you think, man, I'm going to pull something from this today, and so because I want to be positive, and so we help them with that. We teach them with techniques to be able to shut off the negative thoughts, and because we really do beat ourselves up so much with that. So
wow. Wow. Also, is there, I know I was reading earlier about a specific quote that you wanted to share. Would you mind sharing that? I think it was for Terry.
Yeah, sure. Well, after looking back at the experiences that I've had and what I've been through, all of those experiences have made me what I am today and have made me be able to be here to give back to someone else. So actually, it would be from ashes to beauty.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Mine was, it was, well, it still is. The those that mind don't matter, and those that matter don't mind, because, and that's from Dr. Seuss. I think it's kind of funny, but so true, because the people that matter in your life, they're not going to mind when you mess up. They're going to be right there with you. And then vice versa. The ones that are there picking out everything, they mind everything you do. They're the ones that they really don't seem to, they don't matter. You don't want that. You want your life to be full. I believe that's why we were put here, is to experience in all the wonderful things that we have and the people that we have. And that's what I love about hypnosis. It makes me think of the dating game sometimes, where I never know what's going to, you probably feel the same way, where you don't know what anybody looks like on the screen or nothing. And then all of a sudden you pop in, they start talking, they share their story, and they share what's going on. And you just like, your gifts come to life along with your education and your passion for people, I'm sure. So that's how I feel.
Just curious, what were you all doing before you discovered hypnosis? And I know.
Let's see. Well, I did. Terry helped me with this. Get all the things set up. She does a lot of the technical things. She does everything that I don't do. So to have somebody that works with you like that, I'm pretty lucky. But we did videos all over the world of my dummy. We did it through Fiverr, and that's how we did that. So if you had a birthday video you wanted made, it was a 1-minute video, and we'd send that. And so we have a ball with that. But it just like, it was fun, yeah, but it wasn't productive, and we felt like we had so much to give, for all the things that we've been through, both of us, and why not put that to use, and at that, and that's kind of where we got, pieced them all together, and we're still doing it now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And as far as your mentors, who would you say inspired you both?
Well, we have one mentor, I call her the mentoress
Mm-hmm.
because they always say the mentor, and it's like, yeah, okay. Anyways, her name, I'll just say a first name. Can I just say first name or no? Okay.
Make one up.
Okay. I'll just make one up, and I think it'd probably be, I don't know, Cat. Yeah. Anyways, she's helped us both in our journey and letting us see the bigger picture, because the way we were raised, we both didn't have anything growing up. I mean, our families loved us,
Mm-hmm.
but financially we didn't. And so you can't never get more than that. You didn't have all this, or you weren't born into it, or you're not, all these things that we
Yeah.
believed, and she really helped us with that, and just encouraged us. She worked through, using hypnotherapy on us,
Yeah.
as well. So, Terry, you want to say anything to that?
No, well, yes, I actually was thinking about what you said about being worth it or believing in ourselves, which is what our mentors helped us with. And we also try to mentor our clients, and to let them know that they're special, that they have a right, and they have a right for the healing that they're looking for.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, we still have 5 minutes left, actually
Okay.
6 minutes left in the show. What else in particular did you both want to share?
I think that, I'm, the more I learned about hypnosis, and the more that it kind of goes with some of the things I've learned in life, things that you believed, they seem to be true. But when you find out really what the facts are, you find out those weren't the truth. They were just what you believed, And so you can always change a belief to be a positive thing, even though before it was like the mind frame, well, that's the way we always believed. It's like, well, we can change that.
Yeah.
Not just because we're women either.
Mm-hmm.
We're all entitled to change our belief, and our beliefs can change every day because, we learn every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and further in our education, that is a guarantee that we will offer always, without even saying, to all of our clients, is like, well, my schooling's done, I'm ready. It's not like that. We're always learning, and
Mm-hmm.
it may be one client that bumps you up to look into something else, and then therefore you've not only helped that client, you've helped yourself,
Yeah.
and you're helping lots of other ones,
Yeah.
and it's just beautiful. I just love it.
Aw. Wonderful.
And
Wonderful. Now,
yeah,
if someone does want to reach out to you, do you offer like an initial a consultation with them?
Yes, we have
Terry?
a free phone. Yeah, we have a free phone consultation. It's usually around 15 to 20 minutes where we'll talk to them, tell them a little bit about hypnosis, what it is, and just help them be able to decide how soon they want to go forward. And most of them are ready when they call. They're ready to set that date and
Great.
set up that Zoom appointment.
Well, can I also ask, Terry, while you're speaking, you're also a certified professional life coach, I read as well.
Yes, yes.
On
I've
top of
been
it all, you do that as well.
I do, yes. I've
Mm.
actually been doing that for about 40 years.
Wow.
And I found back then, 40 years ago, that the one-on-one with people worked really well for me.
Yeah.
Back then, I had more issue with groups, which I've overcame with hypnosis. But the one-on-one, there's just something special about being able to sit and listen to someone's story and be open to them and let them know that you're wide open. You're listening to every word. You're going to do your very best so that they could be their best.
Oh, wonderful. And then you do Reiki. Are you a Reiki healer? Are you a Reiki master? Tell me, Michelle.
Yeah, Well, I've got one more level to go for the master, but yes, I do Reiki. And, you think that, I always thought, how in the world can you do Reiki on Zoom? But you don't even have to do it doing it on Zoom, doing it in person. It's just amazing. You're talking to me right now on a wave of energy. And so it knows where it's supposed to go, doesn't it? You don't have to designate it. It's already been done, right? It knows the wavelength.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with the healing with Reiki. Is we've got the different levels of the chakras, and it's amazing how all of us, gets gunked up unless we take and clear ourselves of these chakras. That it's kind of like a pool, and it's all nasty, each level of pools. And to get rid of it, you kind of go through each chakra and then clear it out in your root chakra. It's kind of where all it really starts and holds. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, again, do me a favor and remind us how we can reach out to you directly, please.
You can contact us at hypnosisandyou.com, or you can call us at 859-583-6754.
Beautiful. And are you on any social media at all?
We actually just opened up our website again. We had a bad wreck back in November. And so there's a lot of changes right now, and the social media is one of them.
Great. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, getting to know you. And how did you want to leave off with your listeners? Anything in particular you want to share? Any quotes, any words of wisdom? And just again, reassure them, it's okay to reach out. There's a lot that you can work on in hypnosis, especially can really help, let alone the energy healing and the life coaching.
Right. I say that we offer hope.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I would want people to know is when you're down, whether it's the anxiety or, the depression or any of those things, we offer hope. Look at our website. It has over 100 and something, almost 150 things that tell what we help with. So.
Wow. Amazing. Well, thank you again for being here,
Thank you,
Terry and
Jill.
Michelle.
Thank
We do
you.
appreciate it, and looking forward to the next time we get to connect. Really, thank you again for today. Very enlightening, and looking forward to it. Thanks again.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.